I played a little over 50 games this year, but not all of them stood out to me. So here are my top cozy games from 2024. First up, we have a farming and life simulation RPG called Fields of Mistria, which is in early access on the PC. It was developed by NPC Studios. In this game, you start a new life in the idyllic village of Mistria, which is recovering from an earthquake. Your goal is to restore the town to its former glory by building and customizing your farm, raising animals, and engaging in various activities like fishing, mining, and crafting. I enjoyed wandering around the map, finding all of the forageables, and going into the mines. When it comes to any farming game, one of my favorite parts is going into the mines. I really enjoyed this in Fields of Mistria. The characters in the game are absolutely gorgeous. Like, can I just please date them all? But no, seriously, March and Juniper are my faves. Each character has a really unique personality and backstory. This game just genuinely made me smile. It reminded me of my childhood and how cute the graphics were. They really did an amazing job on the pixel art in this game. It has those really satisfying action sounds that just hit right, and the soundtrack is soothing and perfectly complements the game's relaxing vibes. Normally, it's really hard for me to find a good farming game that really grabs me, and I think this one just hit perfectly. It's probably a mix between the familiarity of farming in Stardew along with the bright pixel art style here. There's so much that you can do in this game. I really loved how the leveling up system really lets you have a choice in how you upgrade things instead of you only picking one. Now, I can't wait to see more festivals in this game. They add so much life and excitement to the game. Honestly, my only downside is that it's in early access. So if you enjoy farming sims that give you a feel of nostalgia and love seeing the progression of early access games, this one is definitely a standout farming game this year. Let's move on to a single player RPG space game called Little Known Galaxy, which is available on the PC. This game was developed by Carbon and K. You join the Space Alliance as a new captain in training and work with your crew to solve mysteries in ancient relic found in the Gray Planet. The game offers exploration, crafting, farming, and building relationships. I loved how there was always something to do in this game, whether it was discovering new planets, gathering resources, or crafting new things, or even farming. I thought it was really unique how they added farming elements into this space game, and that it was the main way I was making money in the beginning. The crafting system allows you to create tools and upgrades that are essential for your survival and exploring. The building relationships with the crew members really adds a lot of depth to the gameplay. Each character has their own story and skills. I love the pixel art style in this game. It's adorable and vibrant, and it perfectly captures that adventurous spirit of space exploration. The game can be a bit grindy at times, but let's be honest, a majority of the top games we play are pretty grindy. I felt like there was a nice balance between things to do and the quest, keeping the gameplay really engaging. The game has a variety of fascinating creatures and plants, all with unique characteristics and uses. The soundtrack was immersive and really enhanced the feeling of being on a grand space adventure. I feel like it perfectly complements the game's exploration and the discovery elements while still holding space for being relaxing and a comforting game. If I could add one feature to the game, it would be to be able to use my plants for a greater purpose than selling or for using them for energy. I would like to use them for like cooking meals or something for the crew. Like, I love having meaning behind different things you do in a game, so I feel like this would make it a bit more interactive. I would also make it a little less grindy. This would help keep things fresh and exciting. This game is a great choice if you love space adventures and cozy games with a variety of activities. Now, switching the vibes here with a story-rich musical adventure called Snufkin Melody of Moomin Valley, which is available on the Nintendo Switch and the PC. This was developed by Hyper Games, and in this game, you play as Snufkin, restoring harmony to Moomin Valley by helping its quirky inhabitants and removing hideous parks and restoring harmony to the valley through music, and interacting with the characters. I love how the story is deeply intertwined with the characters, their personalities, and the backgrounds. Each character adds a special charm to the narrative, making the interactions feel really heartfelt and meaningful. The musical elements were beautifully added into the gameplay, and the music not only sets the mood, but also plays a crucial role in progressing in the story and interacting in the world. Art style is absolutely charming, which captured the whimsical, serene essence of Moomin Valley perfectly. The vibrant colors and detailed watercolor art bring the world to life in a nostalgic and enchanting way. The game strikes a nice balance between exploration and story progression. While it can be a bit more story heavy, the engaging quests and beautiful environments really keep the game enjoyable. The soundtrack in this game is absolutely perfect. It really complements the game's relaxing and lighthearted vibe. It gave you that feeling of being in a magical musical world. Now, I'm super excited about the DLC that's coming out on December 17th called Fuddler's Courtship. Them expanding the story and the interactions is going to add even more depth to the game. Compared to other story-driven adventure games, Snufkin of Melody and Moomin Valley really stands out with its unique blend of music, charming characters, and beautiful art style. Plus, there is also that nostalgic Moomin characters in it. This game is ideal for fans of the Moomin series and those who are looking for a relaxing, story-driven game. This was such a unique puzzle game that really reminded me of origami. It is called Paper Trail, which is available on pretty much all consoles and the PC, and even mobile via Netflix. So Paper Trails is a top-down puzzle adventure set in a foldable paper world. You play as Paige, a budding academic leaving home for the first time to pursue her studies, solving puzzles by folding and tearing the paper world, navigating a foldable paper world, and solving environmental puzzles. The folding mechanics are really incredible, and they allow you to manipulate the environment in really creative ways to solve the puzzles. It's like bringing origami to life in a game. All of the puzzles were quite challenging, but not entirely impossible. I was more fascinated with being able to fold the pages and have different platforms I could walk on. It was so satisfying once I figured out the puzzle, and it just really made me appreciate the game's unique mechanics. The art style is beautifully minimalistic with a paper-like aesthetic that pulls you into the puzzle solving. It makes the world feel more tangible and interactive, and just really made the game feel more immersive. The story is engaging and integrated seamlessly with the gameplay. Paige's journey of self-discovery and academic pursuit is mirrored in the puzzles, making each puzzle feel really meaningful. The puzzles, like I said before, are challenging, and they kept me engaged despite some frustrations in having to put the game down every once in a while. And they were really creative, which made the solving them really rewarding. Some of the most creative uses were folding the world to reveal hidden paths and moving around different elements to create new routes. These mechanics were used in some inventive ways to help with the game's progression. The soundtrack was perfectly complementing the game's atmosphere. The sound design with its subtle paper folding sounds added to the whole experience. Paper Trail really stands out with its unique folding mechanics and the beautiful art style. It offers a fresh take on the puzzle adventure genre, making it a memorable experience compared to other games. This game is so enjoyable that I honestly wouldn't change a thing about it. I loved how the game challenged me. Now, Paper Trail is a must-try for puzzle enthusiasts and those who appreciate unique game mechanics. Another standout farming sim from this year was Echoes of the Plum Grove, which is available on the PC. Echoes of the Plum Grove is a cozy farm simulator where you build a thriving community in Honeywood. You farm, socialize, cook, craft, forge, and uncover the island's secrets, all while building a community and thriving in a seasonal environment. I really enjoyed the generations game loop in this game. That was definitely the highlight for me. I just enjoyed the sense of accomplishment that came from seeing my farm and my community grow. The game allows for really deep customization and interaction, making each playthrough really unique and rewarding. And by deep, I mean you literally watch your community around you grow old and, well, yeah, I'm sorry. Like any other farming game, it has different seasonal events, and during these events, there are different activities and rewards that you can get. It's so unique and was a great way to bring the community together in the game. Your social interactions add a ton of depth to the game, making it feel more alive. While you're building relationships with the other characters, unlocking new quest items, and the storylines, it's really crucial in this game to build up your relationships. The art style was so charming, and it perfectly captures that essence of a cozy farming life, but has an arts and crafts feel. The colors and the detailed environments made the game visually appealing and inviting, and it just matched the whole vibe of the game. I definitely will say that the art style is what initially made this game stand out to me. It has a good balance between farming, crafting, and exploration, and in each activity was well integrated, ensuring that there was always something for you to do without feeling overwhelmed. One of the most interesting discoveries was that if you don't like someone in the town, don't be afraid to gift them a nice and beautiful little death cake. This made the game so unhinged, and I loved it. Now, the soundtrack was so soothing, and it really immerses you in that cozy world. The music also changes with the seasons, which helped made the game even more immersive. I love how the devs are constantly updating the game and adding new things to it. Echoes of the Plum Grove really stands out with its unique generation game loop, deep community building aspects, and its unique art style. It offers such a refreshing take on the farming simulator genre. Now, this game is great for fans of farming sims who enjoy a mix of generation building and some survival elements. This game gave me that kind of spark that Animal Crossing did with its life sim and town building vibes. This is Critter Cove, which is an early access on the PC. Critter Cove is a life sim and a town building game set in a cozy post-apocalyptic paradise. You restore an old town, sail across a mysterious archipelago, and engage in activities like farming, fishing, and crafting. I really enjoyed being able to restore the town and then invite different critters to your town. I liked being able to freely explore and craft items, and it really left things open-ended. One of my favorite moments was finding a different island that had different resources than the main island you were on. It has a really nice exploration that adds the sense of adventure to the game. The different activities lie in the farming, fishing, crafting, and providing a really nice variety to help keep the gameplay refreshing, and it leaves it so there are plenty of things for you to do. It really allows for your creativity to run free, and it has a ton of resource management. The art style was really fun and vibrant, and I feel like it perfectly captured that cozy yet adventurous feel in a post-apocalyptic paradise. The colors were really detailed, and the environments really make the game visually enjoyable. Some of the most memorable characters include the quirky shopkeeper and the little shark. Each character has really unique personalities and backstory, and it's really cool because you can assign them to work in different shops, so it helps make you money when the tourists come. The soundtrack is immersive and really enhances that cozy, relaxing vibe to the game. I feel like it perfectly complemented the variety of activities and the exploration you're going to be doing. So this game is in early access, and the devs are constantly adding new things into the game, and I'm really excited about the future of this game and really look forward to the full release. Critter Cove stands out with its unique setting and charming art style. It offers a refreshing take on the life sim and town building genre, similar to that spark that Animal Crossing gave me. It's definitely worth buying if you enjoy life sims with a focus on exploration and that town building aspect. Now, I love coming across games I didn't think I'd like but ended up absolutely loving, and that's what this narrative JRPG was for me. We have Bloomtown: A Different Story, which is available on all consoles and the PC. Bloomtown: A Different Story is a narrative JRPG set in the 1960s Americana world. You play as Emily and her friends, saving their town from demonic creatures through turn-based combat and monster taming. I really love the unique blend of the 1960s Americana with a little supernatural twist. The setting was nostalgic yet eerie, and that really drew me into the story. Initially, I didn't think I was gonna like this game because of the turn-based combat, but I definitely think that this year taught me to just try the games I think I won't like, because there are so many that I ended up loving this year. The turn-based combat system adds to a strategic layer to the gameplay, really allowing you to plan your moves and utilize your team's strengths effectively. It keeps the battles engaging and challenging because it really really lets you customize your team with all the different abilities there are. One of my favorite moments was the first time that I found out who the big boss was going to be. Yeah, that definitely took me by surprise. The pixel art style was really unique and detailed, and I feel like it perfectly captured the 1960s Americana vibes. The character designs and the environments were really stunning, and it gave that really nostalgic feel to the game. The game has a nice balance between the story progression and the combat, and the narrative just keeps you invested, while the combat was really well paced and it fit seamlessly into the story. It was really cool how each monster has unique abilities and characteristics, making the battles different each time. The soundtrack enhances the whole game's eerie yet nostalgic vibes, and it really complemented the setting and the story, making the game even more immersive. Bloomtown: A Different Story stands out with its unique setting and engaging narrative. It offers a refreshing take on the JRPG genre, combining familiar mechanics with a distinctive story in the time era that it's set in. This game is ideal for JRPG fans who enjoy a mix of narrative and some turn-based combat, but is also a little bit on that cozy side. Continuing with another narrative-driven game, we have Caravan SandWitch, which is available on the PS5, the Nintendo Switch, and on PC. Caravan SandWitch is a narrative-driven exploration adventure where you journey across a sci-fi province-like world to find your missing sister. The game focuses on exploration, community interaction, and upgrading your van. I really enjoyed the sense of adventure and discovery as you explore this beautifully crafted world. The narrative really pulled me in, and it just had a really heartfelt story that kept me invested on trying to find my sister. One of my favorite moments was going through all the puzzles in the game. There was just something so satisfying and rewarding when you figure out how to get to a certain area or to unlock certain doors. The art style is stunning with really vibrant colors and detailed environments, and that really captured the essence of the whole sci-fi province-like world that the game was set in. The game strikes a really good balance between allowing you to progress through the story while also giving you the freedom to explore and upgrade your van, but there is also some backtracking in it. The soundtrack is really immersive. I feel like it perfectly complemented the whole game. Caravan SandWitch really stands out with its unique setting, engaging story, and has a really refreshing take on the narrative-driven exploration genre with your familiar mechanics in a distinctive world and a narrative to really set it apart. This game is perfect for players who enjoy narrative-driven exploration games with a focus on community and discovery. Now, you might need a few tissues for this one. We have Neva, which is available on all consoles and the PC. It is an emotionally charged action-adventure game from the same creators as Gris. It follows Alba and her wolf companion as they journey through a dying world, while they're solving environmental puzzles and fighting dark creatures. I loved how the game shared a deep emotional story with its gameplay when there are absolutely no words. The bond between Alba and her wolf companion is beautifully portrayed, making the journey feel personal and impactful. I love that the gameplay gradually gets more challenging the further that you progress. The action-adventure elements add a lot of excitement and urgency to the game, and the combat and puzzles are just challenging enough and also kept me engaged because I was just so invested on figuring out the end of the story. One of my favorite parts was being able to kind of throw Neva at the enemies so I can attack the other ones behind me. I thought it was a fun way to integrate Neva more into the actual gameplay. Plus, I loved the mirror puzzle. It was so challenging but really unique. Now, the watercolor art style is absolutely stunning in this game. It really perfectly captured that dying world, and the visuals just did a great job at bringing you in and bringing out this emotional impact of the story. The game really maintained a perfect balance, seamlessly integrating the story, puzzles, and combat. Each of them complement each other, making the overall game flow be really meaningful. Now, some of the most memorable moments were the heartfelt interactions between Alba and Neva, and the touching scenes that highlight the world's decay and relationship between the characters. The soundtrack is beautiful. It absolutely pulled me into the emotional depth of the game, and I feel like it just heightens all of your emotions. It really perfectly complements the visual and the story and just made the game really immersive. Now, Neva stands out with its emotional storytelling and beautiful art style. The other game that is like this was Gris, but that was also made by the same devs. Now, if I could change one thing, it would probably be to add an extra easier mode for people who only want to play through the story, so there would be like very little combat. There were times where I could not figure out certain puzzles. I did struggle with the combat in some areas, but for me, that really helped making it through the game even more rewarding. I highly recommend if you are a fan of Gris and wanted another beautifully crafted and emotional story. Now, lastly, we have the game that won me over completely, and I soaked the greatest amount of numbers into this game in 2024. Now, we have Luma Island, which is available on the PC. Luma Island is an adventure game where you build your dream farm, master professions, collect magical Lumas, and unravel the island's mysteries. You can play solo or up to 4 friends. I loved the freedom to create and customize my farm, as well as all the exploring that this island had. It had so many little secrets and puzzles that you can do, and the combination of mastering your profession and exploring really helped keep the gameplay fresh and engaging. One of my favorite moments was when I made my first Luma. They are literally so cute, and I just love having one run around with me. The Lumas add such a unique element to the game and companionship, and they help you dig up treasure as well. They make the gameplay just overall more enjoyable. The low poly mixed with pixel art fits this game perfectly. It captures the beauty and the mystery of the island. It's vibrant, charming, but not overly colorful. The game has a nice balance between allowing you to progress in farming and professions while also encouraging you to explore. Each mechanic was really meaningful, making the gameplay just feel rewarding. Some of the most interesting discoveries were the ancient ruins and the hidden magical artifacts. That was really satisfying when you make it through the puzzles in these areas, and all the secrets just added more depth to the game and made the exploration exciting and rewarding. The soundtrack is so soothing and just matches the relaxing, adventurous atmosphere of the game. I feel like it really complemented the setting and the activities that you were doing. In future updates, I would love to see being able to interact more and building relationships with people in the town and being able to find more Lumas. Expanding the game's content could add even more depth and replayability than it already has. Luma Island really stands out with its mix of farming, adventure, and professions. It offers a refreshing take on the cozy gaming genre, especially for a farming sim. If I could change one thing, it would be to reduce the grindiness in this game. While the game is really enjoyable, the number of items needed to master a profession and the amount of money to buy things is insane. It just makes the game extremely tedious over time. This game is great if you don't mind a repetitive grind, exploring, and a fun progression system. With each of these games, they all offer a really unique blend of activities, catering to different preferences. Now, that wraps up my top games for 2024, and I want to hear from you. Comment down below what your game of the year was. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more cozy gaming content, and stay tuned for next week's video. So see you next time. Happy gaming.